So this video is going to serve as an introduction to the tutoring service that I offer at the website here, and I really wanted to make this just to kind of give you guys some insight into who I am and my teaching style, philosophy, all of that stuff. For those of you that might be on the fence as to whether or not you should sign up, and I think as a consumer it's very important that even if some tutoring service looks really great on paper, that you understand a little bit about the instructor, right? I mean, the last thing anyone wants is to get stuck with some boring dude who just really doesn't know how to teach, doesn't know how to convey the material to their audience and so forth. So let's get started. So that is me in Iceland, and now you know what I look like. In terms of experience, I have been studying computer science for a long time, and I did my bachelor's degree in computer science. I'm doing my PhD currently in the field, so I understand the theoretical aspect in addition to the practical aspect of the field. In terms of teaching, I've been doing so for about 4 years professionally, and my experience is mostly pertaining to teaching undergraduate students, and those students come from just a variety of backgrounds and majors and so forth. So not all of them are potentially computer science majors. So that's quite a challenge for the instructor to just really boil the material, to kind of distill it down to just its basic elements, to just appeal to as many people as possible. So that's been the challenge for the past 4 years, and it's been quite exciting. In terms of programming, in terms of the actual practical side of the field, I've been programming for about 8 years, maybe even a little bit more than that, and just in a variety of languages. And so the thing I try to stress in my service is that once you have a solid foundation in programming, once you understand the constructs that are common to a plethora of languages available, then you really can learn one, or kind of be instructed or guided with one language, and then gravitate or just kind of expand your horizon to a bunch of other languages and teach yourself, really. So that's the key thing that I stress in the package. So who's this for? Meaning, who am I trying to reach with this service? Non-programmers, of course. So the material has been carefully curated to appeal to the layperson, really, to just appeal to people whose brains don't work the way programmers' brains work, and will hopefully try to get those cogs moving in the right direction. And if you have previous programming experience, then it's a bit easier. As with anything, you'll hear the terms maybe a second time around, and you'll draw upon your previous experience to just create a complete picture. But it really is catered to those individuals who are coming from different backgrounds, whether it be business or some art or what have you. Okay, how is it designed? What do I do aside from talk all the time? Well, so I like to mix my presentations up with a bit of PowerPoint in addition to some drawing for the remote sessions. When I do in person, I like to do like pen and paper, but remotely I'll do like tablet drawing and so forth directly on the slide or in a separate program or what have you. So there's a lot of pictures. I think that's the best way to learn, is just drawing a lot of pictures to connect the dots, so to speak. Code samples, so I have some code that I reference in the presentations, and then I'll walk through it line by line and just kind of build up the knowledge that we've been acquiring from the previous presentations and so forth. So a lot of code samples to look at to get you used to seeing code and just getting used to reading code, which is a very valuable skill. And then there are homeworks and graded solutions and so forth, and I really try to give you some feedback on maybe bad practices that are developing, and just try to, I guess, shape you or guide you along the path to becoming a competent programmer. So I like to mix and match all of those things when I'm teaching. My philosophy is very firm believer. I really love what I do. I love teaching, and I'm very passionate about it in the sense where I am very much so about my philosophy of teaching, what I believe to be the right way, or at least a successful way. I like to be very careful about how I use jargon, big words in the field, right? Because you should only be allowed to use jargon when you know what that word or that term applies to or what it means, right? You should have that foundational knowledge about that term before you can successfully use that term in speech. And I think with just beginners and students, you need to understand everything before you can actually use these terms. And so I try to give you that foundation and then mention a term and just build up our vocabulary in a very thorough process. And it is made for the layperson. My ultimate goal here, and it's a little tough with programming since it's a more advanced kind of discipline, but still, the at the heart of it, what I'm trying to do is pull someone off of the street and teach them about instructing a computer to kind of do whatever you want, right? To cater to your will and get their brain to think in a certain way that will allow them to not only have better problem-solving skills, but to become successful programmers in the future, whether it be to change careers or to develop things on the side or what have you. So it really is made for just the layperson. And as a result of that philosophy, the lessons are really distilled to their core elements. What that means is that I will deliberately kind of forego these detailed topics. I will skip things because I don't feel as though they're pertinent to your development. I really try to focus on the journey for each particular lesson. And if that means kind of like glossing over something that I feel it isn't that important, then maybe I'll do some YouTube video or something like that on that particular topic just to give you a well-rounded picture. But the goal is really what we're trying to achieve for each of these lessons. So, and with the mix of how the package is designed, as I said previously, this service caters to a bunch of different learning styles, and even in the classroom, I try to mix and match a lot of different techniques, a lot of ways of explaining things that will appeal to those people who learn through a more detailed analysis versus those who need that kind of abstract understanding and then get into the nitty-gritty of it. So that really is how I structure my tutoring service. That really is how I teach and how I feel teaching is successful. So that's who this service is for. And for more information, if you're curious to find out just a little bit more about me or a little bit more about the package and pricing and all of that stuff, then please, subscribe on YouTube for additional videos. What I'd like to do is to cover the entire first class and break it up into a sequence of videos where each video will probably go a little bit more in depth or in detail pertaining to those concepts. And with the tutoring service, you only have 2 hours to cover a good deal of material, and so I'd like to somehow incorporate these videos for just in case you're having trouble, in case you need to rewind and so forth. So please subscribe and you'll get access to any new videos that I might push out. For more information, please check out the website, and if you have any questions at all, please email me. I love email, and I will respond as soon as possible. So I will see you guys in the next couple of videos.